Monday, 27th of November 2023, and in this episode I'm rolling out the loose cannon again, and I want to talk about this story of racism and white supremacy that is always thrown into our faces. A while back I was in discussion with a black guy, and I said, and he's fairly intelligent and he's got a good idea of what is going on in the country. And I asked him the following. I said, listen, so if I take 100 youngsters from a township and I put them into a centrum and I teach them to weld, is it your opinion that all of them will turn out excellent welders? And he said, no. And I said, why not? And he said, well, some people are just better with certain things. I said, aha, okay, so you recognize the fact that some people has got more talent for specific things. Yes. And I said, now let's take it a step further. You're in the engineering business and you need a welder. Now you come to this center and you are looking for welders. Do you want to pick the guy that failed the course, that couldn't make the grade? Do you want to pick that guy to be a welder in your business? And he said to me, are you crazy? Of course I don't want that guy. I said, okay. Now here is the problem. The general idea of these keyboard warriors and militants on social media is that the only difference between a guy being in charge of your workshop and he is a white guy, he is in charge because of his skin color. Not because of his talent, not because of his ability, not because of his experience, because of his white skin. And they can take that guy that failed the welding course and put him in charge of your workshop, and that is it. He will be able to do what that white guy was doing. And the argument got heated. And I said, this is the fucking problem. If we get into a debate and we discuss a topic that I, a white guy, has got experience of, I've got talent for it, I've got academic background for it, and I worked at it for a while, and you make a statement, and I show with facts that you are wrong, your first response is to call me a racist or call me a white supremacist. You have been brainwashed by narrative that there is no such thing as some people in a community or in a country has got more skills, more abilities, more experience, and proven track records. You deny that reality. You fall back on racism. And if you look around yourself, look at the country, look at that Minister of Transport, that woman, what fucking experience does she have of transport? What? Show me that. Show me the track record. And all you can show me is her black skin. And you wonder why Transnet is fucked. Same thing happened at Eskom. Through BEE and affirmative action, you got rid of all the talent, all the experience, all the knowledge. And you replaced it with cadres, and you look at the photograph of the personnel and you're happy because they're all black. But the fact that Eskom is fucked, that you will never accept, that it's because of the black management, nothing else. And then, if we need to play, say, rugby against New Zealand, and it is a matter of life and death on that game, do you want to pick the best talent in the country, Or do you want to pick black players just because they're black? You must understand, it's a life and death game. If we lose, we're gone. And we are South Africans, a multicultural society. Are you going to be really that stupid not to pick the best players? No, I don't care what color their skin is. You want the best players. And they say, yeah, of course you want the best team in that case. I said, okay, so why are we confronted with a guy like Fikile? Why? Why do we have to tolerate that? Look through Cyril's cabinet. How many of those people sitting in that cabinet can actually contribute to the department? Look at that woman in charge of SASA. Look at her eyes. The lights are burning and the wheels are turning, but the hamster is fucked off. Yet she's in charge of the SASA. And when the cock hits the fan, they blame it on system failure. And when you go and look who the fuck is in charge of the system, cadres. But you don't want to recognize and acknowledge that. Always white supremacy and racism. And that is why South Africa is going down the drain. And you blacks that are in charge, you are the majority. You always say you're the majority. You have driven it into this disaster zone. And the nightmare is, you cannot fix it. You cannot fix it. But it seems to me that you don't understand, with the harbor system collapsing, that specific instance, the harbors that is collapsing, will pull the whole country down. To fix the harbor system, you need to make sure you've got qualified, experienced people in charge of that harbor. Next, you need a good and reliable transport system, rails, road, to bring the goods to the harbor, to take the goods away from the harbor. All these things that I've now mentioned, all of them are fucked. Some of it, like the rails, will take years to repair. It will take years to fix it. What is happening to the country during those years? At some stage, you're going to run out of money to fix it because the economy will be fucked. And that is where our problem is today. We're sitting in a situation where merit counts zero. The color of your skin, that is what counts. But I am curious. They can see everything is going down. Everything. But they will not do the logical thing. And that is to get the available skills in the country that can actually fix the shit, to come and fix the shit. And then they want to sit and they want to brag about their position in BRICS. They think they are now important world stage players. Where the reality is, the other players around that BRICS table are from countries where they are focused on improving their economies and they are applying the best skills they have. If they don't have skills, they import those skills. And South Africa is a good supplier for skills. So they are focused on facts and reality. And then they look across the table and they look at the South Africans and they think to themselves, these guys has fucked their own country up. That it's a basket case. And then they want to come and sit here and act as if they actually have influence. The recent fiasco around the Israeli diplomatic thing is a clear example of what happens when you allow short-sighted people with emotional agendas that run something like foreign affairs. Of all the BRICS countries, the important players of the BRICS countries, are all focused on getting peace in Israel and Gaza. And they are constantly in negotiation with both sides. None of them broke off diplomatic relationship with Israel. But these geniuses in South Africa thought it was a good plan. They'll show the world how to do it. And the fallout of that is going to be enormous. It will come. You'll see it as it develops in future. Because that decision will have repercussions. Not only are they out of sync of what the general mood in BRICS is, they're out of sync with the realities in South Africa. There is a lot of Jewish money in the country, in the economy. And there's a lot of Jewish money financing many of these political movements. But those funds are going to dry up. There is videos running around on social media of responses from Zionists about what South Africa has done. And I have to laugh at this one. Cyril, it was an executive decision that he could have made, but he was clever. He didn't make the decision. And I'm sure someone, an agent, instigated Malema to set that motion. And the motion was carried. And now if you look on the international news sites and discussion sites, 9 out of 10 say the EFF motion resulted in diplomatic ties being suspended with Israel. So the EFF is tied to the incident, and they're going to pay for it. It's going to cost them. Not too clever. The cleverness was broken. But we live in this country where merit counts for 0. They only look at skin color. Please give me a like, subscribe, and share the thing. Thank you for your support.